What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It's been a few days since I did a video. The last one I kind of talked about, I had some issues, I guess. I had a friend pass away and was trying to deal with that. And I guess first thing I'd like to say is thank you, everybody, for the support. When I started doing this beer videos, I thought it would be a little bit of fun. Maybe I'd meet some people that also like beer. But I guess what I never really counted on was I would actually make friends on here. People that are genuinely concerned when something goes wrong in your life. Thanks to everybody for their support during that time. I greatly appreciate it. To complicate matters, when it rains, it pours, of course. I got my second COVID shot the other day, as did Anderson. Both of us had a bit of complications. I wasn't feeling well for about a day or so. I'm probably still at about 75% right now. I have a lot of body pain and my joints are aching a bit, but, I'm all right. Anderson's still kind of down for the count, so hopefully he'll be okay, in another couple days. But, it's been a bit of a weird couple weeks here. Anyway, we're back, I guess. Fall is in full swing, and fall means one of two things when it comes to beer. You tend to get the Oktoberfest, the Marzens, which I absolutely adore, and the last review I did was a Marzen. And then you also get these pumpkin concoctions. Now, I will say right off the bat, I'm not really a huge fan of pumpkin pie. I'm not a fan of pumpkin. I know that it's a fall staple and people love it, but for me, I don't know what it is. I'm just not a huge fan. But I do recognize that people love these things, so I got to give it a shot. Last video I did was a Marzen. Today I'm going to do this pumpkin one, and the one I have for the next video is actually a pumpkin Marzen. So I can't say that I've ever seen that before. It'd be a combination of something I love with something I don't really care for. Back to this beer. This is Taft's Frisch Pumpkin Pie Ale. So Taft's Brewing is out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and this is a collabo that they did with the Frisch's Big Boy chain of restaurants. And it looks like their headquarters is also in Cincinnati. I don't think that I've ever eaten at a Frisch's Big Boy. I thought I remember back in the day there was like a Bob's Big Boy or something. I don't know if it's the same company. Maybe it's like that Rally's Checker thing, or if it was a completely different company. But it does look like there is one in Bowling Green and one in Tiffin. They're only about 20 miles away. So one of these days maybe I'll have to take a drive up there and see what Frisch's Big Boy is all about. So this is supposed to be a pumpkin pie inspired ale. Looks like it comes in at 6% ABV, 30 IBUs. Ratings wise, does pretty good on Untapped. It had a 3.76 with close to 2,000 check-ins. And on Beer Advocate, it had a 3.8, but there was only 3 reviews, so not a lot to work with there. I think somebody else did this. If I'm not mistaken, Jay from This Guy's Thoughts may have reviewed this previously. There are a couple of really good reviewers down in the Cincinnati area, so Jay and also Rod from Rod J's Beer Ventures. So if you're interested in Cincinnati area beers, check them out. I mean, they do stuff from everywhere, but, they're in that area, so they have a thumb on the pulse of that area. Color-wise, this has a pretty nice color to it. When we go with my Brew HQ SRM chart, I'd probably say this is an 18 or so, amber brown. Nice color to it. Head looks quite nice. Probably a finger's worth of, it's kind of white. Maybe a slight bit of tan hue to it, but it looks pretty decent. Let's give it a sniff. It smells kind of like those pumpkin pie spices. You pick up like nutmeg and cinnamon and those types of things. I can't say that I can pick out any one of them individually, but it's kind of like that, the generic, I guess what you call a pumpkin pie spice smell. Not bad. I mean, it's not overpowering that would put me off. So, hey, who knows? Maybe I'll like this one. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. Medium bodied. I think you definitely do pick up those flavors, the pumpkin pie kind of spices. So you get a little bit of ginger, you get a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of cinnamon. There is a wee bit of a sweetness to it as well. I know it said it was brewed with lactose. I think I read that somewhere. And you do pick up that kind of like that nice lactose sweetness. I'm a big fan of that, especially when they're in milk stouts or other things. I think it's not like a cloyingly sweet taste, but it's kind of like a nice sweetness that I kind of really enjoy. You also pick up a tiny bit of vanilla in there. And you do get some pumpkin, but it's not overpowering. I think most of the time when I get pumpkin beers, they're like pumpkin spice latte or something, and that just is not for me. I think they did a pretty good job with this because you do get the pumpkin, you get the pumpkin pie spice, but it's not off-putting. I think a lot of times these beers are kind of like novelties, and you're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll try one. Like when you get the chili beers, or when they made one with a snake in it or some crap. You pick something like that up, and it's a one-off. You give it a shot, but you're definitely not going to drink a bunch of them. I think you could drink a few of these, and it wouldn't be too bad. Not too sweet or not too off-putting with the spices. I think all in all, they did a good job with this. So Taft's Frisch's Pumpkin Pie Ale, you would get a thumbs up. This is a rarity. I don't drink many pumpkin beers, but I do think this one's pretty solid. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, you got any comments or questions, jump in down below. Have you had the Frisch's Pumpkin Pie Ale? What's your favorite pumpkin pie or pumpkin-inspired beer? I don't have too many, so maybe I'll need to try a few more to see if I can up the list of pumpkin beers I like. Hey, till next time. Cheers.